The BFS flexibility program is unique in that we stretch primarily for speed and jumping power. Of course, there are other reasons why we stretch: injury prevention, increase our range of motion. But we really work hard on trying to transfer what we learn with our flexibility program to speed and jumping. You can do our program either outside or inside. There is no need for a partner. Now let's go outside and stretch with the 1, 2, 3, 4 flexibility program. The first phase of the BFS 1, 2, 3, 4 flexibility program is called one on the bench. Let's look at it. You get a bench, or you can even do this on the sofa. You want to make sure that this foot is absolutely straight. I don't want it over here like this, because this is how we sprint or how we jump, with our toes straight. Coach Robotham here will bring the toe back. Make sure that the knee is absolutely locked. You can hold on to the bench to bring yourself forward. Have this leg comfortably down, foot flat. All right, Coach, go ahead. Now, we don't want to do this where he has got his chin down on the knee. The idea is to spread your chest and sit tall like you would in sprinting, and then bring yourself, the whole body, forward towards the toe. It gets a tremendous stretch on the hamstring. This is by far the best stretch you can ever do on the hamstring. Now, we do it for 30 seconds. If you get sore and it hurts a little bit, then you can back off and go for 10 more seconds. Do like 3 sets of 10 seconds, or do the full 30 seconds. All right, go ahead and do it for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can see Coach Robotham is really straining hard. It should be just like a big squat workout. You should work up a sweat. It should hurt a little bit, and it should be go for it on this. All right, now here are some other ways you can stretch the hamstring. You can go on, if you don't have a bench and you're out on the field, you can do a figure 4. So Coach, get down there and do the figure 4. And so what he'll do is he'll tuck this foot so it's flat against the thigh. Again, make sure that this is straight and pull back towards you, and then bring your upper body forward. You can hold on. If you can grab the foot, that's great, but bring your upper body forward. Now, what we don't want you to do is to get into a hurdler stretch. About 20% of the high school boys will have a problem with this, and it puts a lot of pressure on this medial collateral ligament right here. And so 20% would maybe cause a problem on that. Unless you're a hurdler, we don't want you to get in that position. So use a bench if you can. You can use a sofa. There's one extra little point I want to bring out on the bench. Bob, get back on the bench again. Bring your foot way over here. Don't ever hang your foot over like this, because you can't get a stretch. So you always want to bring the heel back so it's firmly in place there on the bench. All right, the second phase of the 1, 2, 3, 4 flexibility program is called 2 in the air. So Bob, just get up here, Coach. He's going to interlock his hands like this. Elbows are going to go behind the ear, and he's going to stretch the lats here. This is called our lats, or the upper back stretch. Again, he'll do it for 30 seconds. The second one in 2 in the air, he'll put his hands behind here. He can either interlock them like this behind his back, or just hold on to them and bring the arms up as high as possible. Now, a lot of people do this. They'll lean over like this. That takes all the stretch out. So you want to stand tall, spread the chest, just like you would on a squat or sprint. Bring this up as high as you can, and this stretches the pectoralis muscles, the chest muscles. Okay, now the third phase is called 3 on the wall. And we'll just do it against the bleachers here because we're outside. Or you can, if you're in a gym, you can do it against the wall. The first one is called the back leg stretch. Now we want to make sure that this foot is absolutely straight. That's your first coaching point. We don't want it pointed out like this. A lot of your kids will do that. So your coaching point is to get it straight, because that's how we sprint and how we jump. Then we want to look straight ahead, because that when we run or block or tackle, we always look straight ahead. Same thing in a squat. Then we spread our chest. This is how we run. Then this foot should be brought out here like a little bit more like you're sprinting. Arms are going to be straight. Bring your hips forward
and then press down on the back heel. It's very important to get that back. Now he's working really hard right now. He's stretching his whole back leg. Do it for 30 seconds. Then he would do the other leg, making sure that this foot is absolutely straight. Bring it over a little bit. You're about 1 degree off. Spread the chest, hips forward, press down on the heel. Look straight ahead, arms straight. Okay, the second exercise we do on the wall is called the calf stretch, or the Achilles tendon stretch. So we're going to try to get this area right here. He'll lift up his heel about 1 inch or 2 off the ground. He'll squat down with his butt back. Coach, round your back out and bring your hips forward. No, yeah, bring your hips. Yeah, it's kind of, there you go, like that. Now you'll get some kids that'll do it like that, and that's not the way we need to do it. We want to look straight ahead, spread the chest, get the butt back, and sit back down over the heel. And then he's stretching this really, really well right now. Okay, other leg. Now, if you can't feel a stretch, you can experiment by bringing the foot back a little bit more, but always want to squat down over it and bring the heel up 1 inch or so. Okay, the third phase of the 3 on the wall is the quad stretch. The big muscles here in front of the thigh. Coach, show them how most people do it. They bring it out to the side. That takes all the stretch out of the quad. Or they bring it here and bring the heel right in and dig it right into the rear end. That puts a lot of pressure on the kneecap area. So what we do is well, here's another stretch too, where they grab from the inside and twist, or even girls, and sometimes really flexible junior high boys, will bring this heel on this side of the thigh, which puts a huge pressure on the knee. We don't want to do that. So a really safe and actually better way to do it is to grab the ankle, knees together, bring the knee up as high as you can, and bring the heel away from the hip and butt area. And he's looking straight ahead. He spread his chest, lower back's in there like this, and now he's getting a great stretch. He's actually using the proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, or the PNF method, by himself. Okay, other leg. He's looking straight ahead, good back, knee comes back straight and up, and the heel away from the rear end. Now you got a great stretch on the quad. The last phase of the BFS 1, 2, 3, 4 flexibility program is 4 on the floor. So coach, go ahead and get down. And we're actually on a track now, so we're outside, but you can get down on the floor in the gym area. This is called the groin stretch. About 80% of high school athletes will grab the toes and bring them in. A little better way to do it is to grab the ankles, and there you can have your elbows right down on your knees. So now you can push down on the knees as well as bring the heels in as close as you can. Look straight ahead, and that gives a great groin stretch. Next one we do is called the adductor stretch. Legs are as wide as possible, toes are straight, knees are locked. Then he'll grab the toes and bring himself forward. And that really hurts on the inside. These are your adductors, so it's on the inside part of your thigh. Some of the girls who are really flexible can put their chin on the ground, and that's really tough to do. Now, some of the kids won't be able to grab the toes, so if you can't, make a fist and put them behind your hips on the ground and push yourself forward. And now you can get a great stretch on the inside part of your thighs. Or if you're really close, you can grab your shoelaces and pull yourself forward. But you have to have something to pull yourself forward so you can get that great stretch in the adductors. The next one we do is called the glute stretch. Okay, now we want to make sure Coach Robotham is going to have this leg straight, toe pointed, and he's going to put a lot of pressure on this knee and push it that way. When you push it that way, then you can feel it in the glute. Most people who do this go like this, and there's no stretch now because he's not putting any pressure on this knee, so he can't, there's no way he's feeling it in his glute now. He's getting a little lower back stretch, but not the glute stretch, so we want to get it right by pulling in like that. Now, some kids that have great big legs If you do it this way and just pull the leg that way, then you can get your glute stretch really well that way. Okay, other leg. Make sure this is flat. The toe and foot should be right by the knee. Press hard on the knee, get it this way, look away. You get the stretch in the lower back and stretch in the glute. The next one is called the hip flexor stretch. It's the most important stretch we do. If we can increase your stride length by just 2 inches, you can improve your 40-yard dash by about 0.2 of a second. Now there's ways to do it and ways not to do it. It's really tough to get in the right position. We want about a 2-foot distance between the knee and the heel. If you bring it back here and you bring your hips forward, then this lower leg won't be straight. So you've got to get the lower leg straight after you bring your hips forward. Okay, so his hips are forward now. He puts his hands on his knees. This is very important. He pushes away so his shoulders are back. He's looking straight ahead like he'd sprint. He's spreading the chest, and he's forcing his hips straight down towards the ground. It's stretching the hip flexors right in there, and it hurts right now. He's hurting right in here. But he's working hard, and that's what you got to do. All right, next leg. Coaches, when you're coaching this, make sure this lower leg is perpendicular, straight up and down. Hands here, spread the chest, lock in the lower back, force the hips straight down towards the floor. That gets his hip flexor stretch. The last one is, we call it the cobra, but it stretches the abdominal muscles. And we want to make sure that the hands are straight. We bring him in here, and he just rears up like a cobra, leaving his hips on the floor. So that stretches, not only makes the lower back feel good, but stretches the abdominal or the front area of the body. And if you can, straighten out your elbows. It's kind of tougher to do by leaving your hips there. That's a great stretch to do. That completes our stretching program.